All right, gentlemen, we are live, dog. Yada. Live on YouTube. Appreciate everybody checking in. We're about to start soon. I'm just making sure we're good over here. That channel. All right. Let's get it, y'all. How y'all feeling today, gentlemen?
All right.
Week 3. Hey, I came up last week crazy. Man. Listen, y'all. I'm still the money just came in. So I'm like, okay, it's a real thing. So all those before we even start, all those that online gamble, yes, you can actually like withdraw money. People don't withdraw money from online gambling. I don't understand it.
Why would you? I don't get that.
There are people, listen, Rome. First of all, there are people that are just straight up afraid to bet online because they don't think they'll get paid.
I got that.
And then there are people that have bet online but have not won money, or if they did, they kept betting it and didn't withdraw. So I'm just letting them know, like, yo, when I win, I take out money. I withdraw online gambling.
I feel that.
To this day. So I'm just putting it out there. All right. So we are recording, y'all. We are live on YouTube. Appreciate everybody that's listening to What's the Line podcast. This is week 3. Hell of a week last week. We're gonna keep getting right into it. So give me just a second. I'm just gonna retweet this. Yada yada. All right, so let's get right into it, y'all. Right into it. All right, so and we're back. Annie Up Consulting presents What's the Line podcast. I'm your host, the meticulous Mark P. Also the host of Annie Up University. A participant in What's the Line Monday Morning podcast. You can get all those on all streaming platforms. But yeah, I'm your host, and let's get into our guests. Rome, how you feeling today, Rome? Our friend from Rome, People's Champ.
Ready to go. 6-0 in best bets going into week 3. I'm ready to keep that rolling.
Rome is fucking 6-0. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? 6-0 in best bets. I mean, what do you guys want from me? He was over 60 plus 62% last year. Best bets. I mean, 6-0 start this year. Hell of a job, our friend in Rome, the People's Champ. Keys, how you feeling today? Papa Keys, talk to us.
I'm all right. You know, on to week 3.
On to week 3. I love it. You know I love that. On to week 3. On to the Bengals. On to Cincinnati. Mike Curry with us. No Salmon today. Mike Curry, how you feeling today? Monday morning, we just went 3-0 on best bets. So, I mean, how you feeling today, Mike?
Sure. Yes, sir. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me, of course. I know I'm part of Annie Up, but it's always a good vibe to be on a regular show. But
yeah. I always talk about the core 4, but if someone's missing from the core 4, I'm bringing up Mike or Paris. So that's no problem at all. Yeah. So, gentlemen, we're going to get right into it. Not going to keep these. Just got a text, but yeah, not going to keep these going too crazy. And yeah, so let's get right into it. First game. Oh my gosh, it's Panthers -7.5 at the Houston Texans. Panthers favored by 7.5. Total is 43.5. Rome, you know, I always start with
Kick
you.
us off, fan. Come on, Panthers fan. I want you to kick this one off.
No, I'm not going to kick this off first. So if you don't want to, I'll turn it to Rome. Kick us off. Tell us how you feel about this game. 7.5.
All right. Well, short week for the Panthers and the Texans. Obviously, we have the Tyrod Taylor news coming out of Houston. He probably will not play. Panthers are still laying 7.5. Look at him. This line was 4.5. Don't think we learned much from the Texans last week, other than the fact that, you know, they probably will be the Texans that we all expected them to be. I think if anything, we learned that the Panthers have, well, not us, specifically us on this podcast. We were high on the Panthers this year, so we're bullish on the Panthers. And it's really because of, you know, Joe Brady and that offense that we think will click more in year 2. Matt Rule, we think, is going to be a top 10 pro football head coach if he hasn't already cemented himself as such. And, you know, here we are, them laying 7.5 in week 3 against the Texans team that's pretty bad now, especially without the quarterback, you know, with the question marks at quarterback. I want to look at this total here at 43.5. I think it's a little low for two teams. Well, one team, that being the Panthers, that's been able to score. Obviously, their defense hasn't given up any points in the first half of the first 2 weeks this year. And the Texans, in week 1, we saw that they were able to score some points. They also gave up a couple points to Jacksonville. And then in week 2, they go up to the Browns and, they kind of play in some type of a shootout up there in Cleveland. So total at 43.5. You know how I always feel about books giving you the hook. I don't think they ever give you the hook on an under. So I think if this line closes at 43.5, I'll be looking to play the over. As of right now, though, especially with the injuries at quarterback position for the Texans, we don't know, what we're getting from them offensively. So, this will be one of those games that you kind of keep the eye on the line, specifically the total. I'm not looking to play either side here. Not looking to lay 7 with anybody on the road on a short week. And, the Texans are bad, so I'm not looking to catch that either. So it's going to be a total play of anything for me. If not, it'll just be a stay away.
All right, Mike Curry, talk to us. How you feel about this game? Panthers favored by 7.5 against the Texans.
Yeah, I actually had a like on the Panthers. I've been bullish like you guys have been. I know I wasn't on the episode where y'all talked about the season totals and stuff, but I was super bullish. I played their win total over. This Texans team with Davis Mills starting, I don't really know what to expect pretty much. But from what I've seen from the Panthers, I expect what they've been doing and even a little more. And I want to lay that 7.5, so I'm gonna do it for sure.
All right, Keith, let me know how you feel about this game. Panthers favored by 7.5 at the Texans, total of 43.5.
I'm teetering between. I definitely feel all sentiments here with all sentiments so far, foreshadowing with the Panthers. But I'm teetering between a lean and a like would be. Definitely, I loved it at the 4.5. I wish Tyrod was still playing so I could get that number. I don't like just a lot of the things that Rome brought up. I don't like laying that many points on the short week. I don't think either. Well, I mean, you could argue that the Panthers' offense is getting there, but I don't think either offense makes you jump at that. Although they're playing with arguably one of the worst teams in the league. But yeah, it's turning towards a like with the Panthers here, just simply because I don't think the Texans will be able to move the ball much against this offense. Backup quarterback. I feel like it could get ugly. That's why I'm turning towards liking it, because the Panthers have shown the ability to, play well against those leads, and like they just did last week. I could see the same thing going again Thursday night, the first stinker in a primetime football this year. But what were you gonna say, Rome?
Yeah.
This is just a question for everyone. What did we learn last week from the Panthers? I think. Well, let's just say in general. I was going to speak offensively, but in general, what do we think we learned from the Panthers? Because that was, they played the Jets week 1 at home, and then week 2 they get an actual formidable opponent in division. Because at this point, there's no way I'm not sold on this team.
I think what I didn't learn it, but I confirmed it that the defense is top tier. Yeah,
right.
To me, that's exactly what I was going to say. It confirmed that defense. Okay, and then I know it's not like the best opponent even last week, but to me the offense looked like they already had an identity. The identity is Christian McCaffrey. Get it into his hands. But I like what I'm seeing out of Darnold. I don't want to say that's the reason why. Like, I don't want to pinpoint it to that, but
I think that's fair.
I know you do, but I don't want to be that guy.
Fair enough. So for me on this one, I lean with the Panthers minus the 7.5. I know originally I had to lean with the Texans because of the number, but I mean, it's essentially saying that the Panthers are 10.5 points better than the Texans. This Texans team, Davis Mills, who was on my bad side because Rome, I had to play on him in the NFL draft, so he's already on my bad side. I'm not sure
I don't even know why you.
I thought that people would kind of jump up there to grab a quarterback.
Where did he end up going? Third round?
He went at the end of the second round, but it was like a few picks after, I assume. So the thing with Davis Mills is I don't know. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I just assumed he was going to get drafted at a certain position. The Texans have a really good defense. I mean, not the Texans, but the Panthers have a really good defense. We saw what they did to Zach Wilson, who is supposed to be a top tier quarterback as far as this rookie class came in. And now we're getting maybe a tier 2.5 quarterback in Davis Mills, rookie starting quarterback on the Texans. So I'm gonna lean with the Panthers minus the 7.5. I would probably get that down to 7 or 6.5 though if I could, just because the Panthers more than a touchdown. I don't know if they're that good. But Matt Rule, 7-1 against the spread as a road team, as a head coach in the NFL, 4-2 against the spread after a win. So that all bodes well with them. The Texans are And I know we talked about this last year. I don't know if this matters. Since 2017, 13, 19, and 1 against the spread after a loss. So that's just going back to kind of the last, draft class or whatever, 4 or 5 years.
And I'm not sure how fair that is because, I mean, who's left on that roster from those numbers?
Personally, I think of the offensive line, Tunsil and the what's the other guy that they?
Is he gonna play this week?
I don't know if he's gonna play, but
I know he got his ankle rolled, and I'm pretty sure he's questionable.
Okay, but yeah, just lanes. And then specifically, Panthers lost a starting offensive guard this past weekend. And I know that we're already a little thin on the offensive line. So that's why I just lean with the Panthers, over a touchdown. All right, next game. I thought this one was interesting. I wish we had Salman here. Maybe I'll plug in some his actual play here. But the Bills, Washington football team at the Bills. Bills favored by 9. Total is 45.5. Keith, I'm gonna actually start with you on this one. What do you think about this game? I thought it was interesting. The number here, 9.
Yeah, to me, the number is interesting. Is probably my summation of the game. At 7, I would have liked to play the Bills just because I do think that they're much better than the Redskins at the look ahead. I feel like the number at this point has gotten a little away from me that I would like to play it. I believe in it. I am of the opinion that the Redskins got to upgrade at quarterback when Fitzpatrick went down, when it's all said and done. I know it's a small sample size, but I feel like the eye test and everything will probably agree with me there. But you asked the question, what do we learn about X team? What do we learn about Y? I still have yet to learn anything about the Browns, to me personally. I mean, about the Bills personally yet this year. I still have to see it. Obviously, they came out with the loss to the Steelers, looking a little shaky. You could say fluky, but I mean, that's how the Steelers play. That's how you expect them to get wins. And then last week against the backup quarterback, Brissett, no one's expecting Brissett to be out there. They completely demolished them. They're actually running the ball. So that's not the Bills that we're going to see all year. It's close to a stay away from me at -9. I'm interested to hear what everyone else thinks, honestly.
Ron, what do you got for him? What do you think about this game? Bills -9.
There's one angle I'm looking to play on. Well, 2 angles I'm looking to play on this game. And while it may seem correlated to the total, I don't want parts of the overall game total. Looking to play Washington football team, total team under here on the road. Heineke start on the road in Buffalo. Obviously, Bills Mafia will be in attendance. So, he hasn't played in a professional football game with fans in the stands on the road yet. Looking forward to see how he produces and how he's able to, move that ball down the field and get in the end zone. And then also on the opposite side, looking to play the Bills, total team over. So if you don't like this 9, you don't like the 7, don't be square and play the money line on the Bills. You pick a side. You pick a number that's around 110. And the angle for me is going to be Bills total team over, because I think this offense, what happened last in week 1, if we have real context of that game, they're up double digits in that game. And they start playing lackadaisical, turn the ball over, being lazy. And then the Steelers creep back in with short field and turnovers. So last week we saw against the Miami defense that we think is formidable. Last year it was top 10. And they were able to score points and put up points with no problem, 35 of those points. So they come back home here against a non-conference foe in the Washington football team. And I don't know about you guys, but I was not too impressed with what we saw from the front 7 in the Washington football team last Thursday. Maybe it was short week, who knows? But the Giants offensive line is ranked 30 before the season started. They had no problem moving the ball up and down the field. If anything, they got in their own way late in that game. So I'm not too high on this Washington football defense right now. We know the names. We know what their, predictions and what they're expected to be, but we haven't seen it yet in 2 weeks. And specifically, think about week 1. Chase was not looking sharp in week 1. And, Jonathan Allen made a couple plays on Thursday, but they haven't been able to put it all the way together. They get the rookie linebacker, JD, and he hasn't been able to put it together. He's getting pancaked all over the field. If you watch the film, he's getting pancaked. So he's just not there professionally yet. This defense is not playing very cohesive right now. Give me the Bills total team over. And if you want to get spicy with it, I would take the under on the Washington football team points.
All right, Mike, how do you feel about this game? Bills favored by 9, total 45.5 against Washington football team.
Yeah, that was low-key a lot by Rome, but I respect it. But I lean with the Bills here. I've been going kind of back and forth, but I lean with the Bills. It's just like when I was like Rome said, the Giants were moving the ball at will. And just look at the personnel that the Bills have, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Like, if they can take that same exact blueprint, they can move the ball the same exact way. Like, it it won't be an issue. So I just lean with the Bills. Obviously, the number 9 shows, and I think it opened at 9.5, but the number 9 shows that the books don't believe in Heineke yet. They're obviously on the road, and they don't believe in they just don't believe in the Washington football team. They want to see more, and from that standpoint, I just got to lean with the Bills.
And I think 9 is one of those numbers. 9 is one of those key numbers. I know a lot of people don't think it is, but 3, 4, 6, and 7 are obviously key numbers. But I think 9 is also a key number because that's the first number that says they are 2 possessions better.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you get 3 points for being home field. Bills Mafia should earn those 3 points. That's a Rockets place to go into play. So they're saying this team is 6 points better with Taylor Heineke. I agree. I mean, this is the top team in the AFC, and this is a team in the NFC East that won that division last year won under 500 and barely snuck in and lose first round. So if we look at these 2 teams, they're not on the same tier. So if they're not on the same tier, what are we going to use to differentiate tiers? I mean, I would think tier 1 and tier 2, the top of tier 1, which would be the Bills. They were the 3rd best team in pro football last year. If we're doing rankings, obviously go to AFC Championship, 3rd best pro football team, and the Washington football team who snuck in at the 8th seed. So you got bottom tier 2, top of tier 1. I would say there's a difference of 6 points between those 2 teams. And I don't think much has changed in terms of roster on those 2 teams. So I think that's still an accurate thing to go by. And I think if you like the Bills here, you lay that 9.
Yeah, for me, Rome, I agree with you there. I think I'm going to actually lay the 9. It's a lean for me right now, but actually I'll go to a like. I mean, this Washington football team is, the first 2 weeks of the season has not been the defense that we were accustomed to last year. We talk about the Bills. This, hasn't gotten up to that key number of 10, but when we talk about them under Sean McDermott, that's their head coach. They're 26-18-2 against the spread, non-division games, 22-15 against the spread after a win. So I like those stats. I like the fact they're at home, the Bills Mafia. If you take away the 3 points for the home field, this is just saying Bills -6. So I agree with that. And I think the Washington football team may have some struggles considering that they've had the Heineke and the Terry McLaurin's, Logan Tom, all of that on film for, a couple games now, 2 to 3 games. And it's something that the Bills can kind of work towards. Like I said, they're at home, that Bills Mafia. I know Soundman's out there listening, so that Bills Mafia. I'm going to back the Bills -9 here and before it gets to 9.5 and 10. So I'll back the Bills -9. It's a like for me. All right. So that's it for that game. Next game, Bears at the Browns. Browns favored by 7. Total is 46.5. I will start with me. I have a like on the Browns here. I just think that its line is getting too cheap. I was with the Bears last week, minus the 2 against the Bengals. That line kept dropping. So it's kind of one of those overreaction things. But when the Browns were favored by over 12.5 points last week against the Texans.
Yeah.
Against Tyrod Taylor, a quarterback who does not turn over the ball. When I looked at this Bears offense last week, once Andy Dalton went out, because that was my handicap with Andy Dalton. But Justin Fields came in, and I like the kid long term, but in the short term, he didn't play very well. I was a little
got
afraid
us that 3rd and 8 when we needed it. How about that?
Got us that 3rd and 8 when we needed it. Shout out to him and his speed. So I just worry about him throwing the ball. I understand that he's going to have to go through some lumps and just learning the game. This could be that game when you got Myles Garrett and the Jadeveon Clowneys of the world, going against your bad offensive line. I think the Bears could really struggle here. This kid's going to have to run for his life. So I want to take the Browns minus the 7 points. What do you think about this game, Ron?
Yeah, it's going to be a lean on the Browns for me. I get hesitant when I see those key numbers. 7 is a key number. I don't like laying 7 on the road, but I will lay it at home. And going back to your first point that you said right before you started talking about it, it's an overreaction. Why did we like the Bears last week? Because it was an overreaction as to how bad they got beat on primetime. All the eyes saw them get ran out the dome in LA, and then everybody saw the Bengals beat the Vikings at home week 1. So it was the perfect. We loved the Bears last week, and it was a perfect recipe for that because everyone saw the Bengals do good and everyone saw the Bears do bad. And then, obviously it's week 1. Nothing after week 1. We loved the Bears last week. They get us the cover. But all week, that line moved from 3 to 1. So Bengals at one point, obviously many people thought that they were the right side, but that line movement, I thought it was pretty square because it just moved all week, you know. And if we really look at who the Bears are, they still weren't able to score that many points this past weekend. They didn't look impressive on offense. And so you're going against a team in the Browns who we expect to win the AFC North. You know, obviously an impressive thing going on in Baltimore right now. But this is a team that's going to be able to run the football. So I think that Bears, we already talked about this Bears defense being, this is the year that they need to either show up or they need to start over. They show up in 1 week, last week with the 3 picks, but was that really the Bears or was that Joe Burrow? So we barely sneak out of there with the cover, but, you know, appreciative of it. And then here they are on the road the next week. So 2 weeks out of their first 3 weeks, they're on the road, out of division, out of conference. They're going to have to stop the run. And this is the best offensive line in pro football, in my opinion, specifically for running in the Browns. I think Baker Mayfield is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in pro football. I've been preaching it. I don't think he's a stud, but I think he's underrated. I think he's underrated, and I think this offense will be able to score points. Still no Odell this week. No problem for the Browns.
They say he's questionable.
Questionable?
Yeah. You know, Jarvis Landry just went out. But
how about this? I don't think it matters.
I don't think it does either.
I think if anything for us, it's a free roll because say Odell's one of those players that will move a line for no reason, and he hasn't played. He hasn't been impactful in over a year, but he
maybe
will.
2.
Huh?
Maybe 2 years.
Yeah. So I mean, but he's one of those public guys that people love. I don't think he's worth anything on the line. They went 10-6 last year without him. They don't need him. So to cover this specific game, you know, Kevin Stefanski, one of the best offensive schemers in pro football, I think they're able to cover this at home. Dog pound covers 7.
All right, Keith, what do you think about this game? The Browns favored by 7 at home.
Honestly, it's close to a stay away from me because I honestly hate both teams with all my gut. But I mean, it's a lean with the Bears to me, just because of that key number 7. And I like the under more than any side here because I don't think either team is going to be able to move the ball very much. I know you said it doesn't move the line. I really don't think it does. It moves the actual line. But to me, in terms of game flow, it does matter to me. Not Odell necessarily, but just the fact that the Browns are dealing with so many injuries at wide receiver. I mean, what they love to do is run the ball, obviously, but the Browns, the Bears, although their defense isn't what it used to be, they have been stopping the run this year. So I think it's going to be tough for both teams to move the ball and get points specifically. The look ahead was -8.5. So they're saying that the last 2 games made you feel like the Browns are a 1.5 better. I agree with you guys there. I don't see what happened last week that would make me agree with that. So that's why it's definitely a lean close to stay away with the Browns covering here. It's more so just about my feelings towards the Bears covering here and about my feelings towards the Browns. If anything, if I had to definitively say I've seen anything out of them this year, is that they are still the Browns. They're finding their ways to lose games.
I disagree.
Well, I mean, they're 1-1. It's only been 2 games, right?
They're 1-1. They lost to the Chiefs, obviously, and they beat a bad team in the Texans. But Baker Mayfield was 19 of 21 this past Sunday. One of his incompletions was an interception. So he had only 1 ball that hit the ground this past Sunday. That's without Odell Beckham. We're saying he's questionable. That can only be a plus, we would expect. So I don't see where there's any decline in this offense or where the Bears are going to be able to keep up with the Browns. I think this is one of those weird
I feel like if you've been watching the Browns, though, they've been playing pretty stout defense where they've been getting burned at all year is people taking the top off their head.
Are the Bears going to take the top off?
No, I'm saying the Browns aren't going to be able to do that, especially not without their weapons on the outside. It's not even what they try to do.
Points on 21 attempts, and he only had 1 ball hit the ground. I don't think taking the top off is going to be a problem. Nick Chubb runs for 95 last week. That's on par with what he can do. I think this is one of those uncorrelated parlays, if you like to parlay a single game, where the Browns can cover and it still goes under.
I mean, I love it in a teaser. I don't like the Browns covering more than a touchdown against any squad, honestly.
Love it in a teaser. All right, Mike, how do you?
Now it's down to 7, so that means there's obviously love for the Bears and what people saw from the Bears beating the Bengals at home. I mean, come on.
Close to a stay away from me, man. It's like,
I got you. No, I got you.
Mike, what do you think about this game? Browns favored by 7 at home.
I got a slight lean to the Browns just simply because 2 things. One team has an identity and one team doesn't. I know what I'm going to get from the Browns. With the Bears, I don't really know what I'm getting with Andy Dalton and, when Fields gets started. I don't really know what I'm getting, but I know exactly what I'm getting. The Browns, they're going to run the football first. That's what they do. Like Rome said, Kevin Stefanski schemes things up. And another thing is the Browns, they beat up on bad teams. They've been doing that for a while. So, yeah, I'll lean with the Browns. Just a slight lean. I don't think I'll play it, but definitely lean Browns.
Gotcha. And against the spread, Bears under Matt Nagy, 15-12 against the spread after a win. So there are some stats to back him. And the Browns don't look too good against the spread under Baker Mayfield. 7-9-1 against the spread is a home fave under that duration since 2018. So I wanted to point that out. All right, next game, gentlemen. I want to keep this short and sweet. Just give me 3 reasons why this team, either team covers or doesn't. Ravens -8 at the Lions. Total is 49.5. Mike, I'm going to start with you. Who covers, and give me like a couple reasons why.
Well, I've been keeping things short and sweet anyways, but I got a like on the Ravens. I feel like they kind of catching their rhythm. I feel like winning the Chiefs was a big emotional win type of thing. Like Lamar kind of got a monkey off his back. A lot of people said he couldn't really beat Mahomes, but this Lions team is a bad team. It's going to be a short week for them as well. I know they're still at the crib, but I like the Ravens here. I like the Ravens. Lions don't really stop the run well, and that's what the Ravens do best. And I could see them, Hollywood. He's been playing well so far. He could take the top off a little bit. Yeah, I like the Ravens.
All right, Keith, what do you think about this game? Few reasons are left. Ravens -8 at the Lions.
I like the Ravens here. Strong, running game on the road. It's the Lions.
All right. And Rome, what do you think about this game?
I'm going to go contrarian here and give you a reason as to why the Lions could cover this game. Since 2010, pro football teams that are 0-2 are 56-36 against the spread in week 3. The Lions are a winless team. This is week 3. 59%. Ravens off a big win, letdown week in which a week prior to where they have to go out to Denver and play the Broncos. That's a big game. This could possibly be a letdown spot for it. Love teasing the Lions up. Probably will play it on the regular line.
Yeah, with me, quick, I lean with the Lions in this one. I like the Ravens, what they're doing, but when you're at home, and this Ravens team has been putting people to bed as far as rushing yards per game. Raiders and who did they play the other day? They played the Packers, but
the Lions.
They played the Chiefs. The Ravens played the Chiefs.
Yeah,
but both of those teams, they put them at 32nd rushing yards per game. So the Lions have to fear that, but I just think when you're at home, the total is 49.5. I definitely lean towards the under. Both teams want to run the ball. I saw that in the Lions. So I like the under actually of 49.5. But as far as the side, I'll just lean with the Lions +8 at home, an 0-2 team. So I'll lean there just because the analytics back me up. But I like the under 49.5. I think both teams want to run the ball and run some clock. So
Lions have competed in both games they played this year.
Yeah. And Ravens, this is since Lamar Jackson been the quarterback, 16-10 against the spread after a win. Lions last 4 years. I don't really want to give that out. Last 4 years. Nobody was there. All right, next game, Colts and the Titans. Colts at the Titans. Titans favored by 5.5. Total is 48. Rome, I'm right back at you. What do you think about this game? Titans favored by 5.5.
It's probably going to be a stay away for me.
All right, stay away.
One of those numbers I just don't like, and I'm not confident in this Titans offense, and the Colts don't look like they know what they're doing on offense either, and Carson Wentz is questionable. So I just want to go out there and play with 2 sprained ankles. Stay away.
Keith, what do you think about this game? Titans favored by 5.5 at home.
I think I'm going to echo sentiments and say I'm now at the only thing I know about this AFC South is the Jaguars are terrible. I'm back to that. This is like 2.5 years ago where it was just like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen with these. Good thing we don't have even numbers anymore. So now they're not going to be 500 whoever wins this division. But I'm really back there with this. I don't know. I can't put. If I had to pick a lean, it would be on the Colts just because I don't want to say any team is going to outscore another one in this division. Give me the underdog in the points.
Yeah, before I get the mic, for me, it's the same way. I usually, if you guys remember, I usually stay away from these 2 games, these Colts Titans. But for me, it's a slight lean on the Titans just because I feel like they found a rhythm. But I usually stay away from these games in division, Colts Titans. I don't know, it's always close, but no Carson Wentz this week, so Titans may cover the 5.5. Mike, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I lean with the Titans. Pretty much the exact similar reasons as you. The stuff you said at the end, Carson Wentz. But the Colts is a team that I was down on. And again, I know I wasn't on the season preview, but I played their win total under. Not a believer in this team. I told Rome about it. I'm not a believer.
Yeah.
But what I saw from the Titans last week is some rhythm and a recipe that I can see, continuing.
In the second half.
Yeah, especially in the second half. So, I lean with the Titans here. Nothing too crazy, but definitely lean in.
All right, and the Colts under head coach Frank Wright, 11-8-1 against the spread after a loss, 10-8-1 against the spread division games, while the Titans under head coach, what's this guy's name?
Mike
Vrabel. They're 11-14-1 against the spread as a home team since he's been the coach. So wanted to point that out. Keith, I'm coming to you next. Chargers at the Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 6.5. Total is 55.5. We're going to go to our AFC West. Our guy Keith, what do you think about this game with the Raiders shirt on? Chiefs favored by 6.5.
Division matchup of probably the two lesser teams of the division. I mean, if you just go by record and number, but
goodness. Look at this guy's shirt.
But I will say though, I have a strong like with the Chiefs here. I mean, if you just really look at what the Chargers like to do, what they want to do, it's just a terrible matchup. It's like we're gonna stop the pass. Oh, but I'm playing Pat Mahomes. It's like we think we're gonna outscore you. Like, oh, but I'm like they're built like a baby brother of the Chiefs. But I believe the Chiefs are better. I'm getting the Chiefs on sale here, and I'm getting to do a Rome special where I get the fade a trend, which is Pat Mahomes not covering.
Oh man, you stole my angle. Oh, that's it.
I'm learning, Rome. But yeah, I mean, we get a look ahead that's going the opposite direction on the Chiefs. Like, give me that. It's as simple as that with me. And I've been fading the Chargers all year. It worked out for me last week.
All right, Mike, what do you think about this game? Chiefs favored by 6.5.
It was a stay away from me, but it's now a slight lean to the Chiefs. They gonna be pissed off. They know they pissed the game away last week. My concern about them though is they're giving up over seven yards per play, and that's bad. And they're also giving up almost 200 yards on the ground per game. But like if the Chargers offense stalls, like the Chiefs are pissed off, bro. I could see them definitely smacking them, but I just lean Chiefs.
All right, Rome, what do you think about this game? I came to you last specifically. Chiefs minus 6.5.
So this is a like for me. It's a like on the Chiefs. This total is the highest total this week on the whole slate at 55.5. Chiefs have not covered a game, and they've covered one game in their past 15. However, they were 13-1, 2 in those games straight up. So they won the games. They just didn't cover them. Keith mentioned prior, I love fading trends. 1-15 in their last not covering. I think it's up to 1-16 after Sunday night. Now I'm riding. Now I would love to take the 6.5 at home with the Chiefs. As Keith mentioned, this is the worst team in the division statistically right now. If we want to talk records, they are in last place. This is a team that said they're on bounce back this year, didn't they? They made it evident that Travis Kelce didn't even know who these guys were playing last Monday. He's on the primetime game talking with Peyton and Eli. He like, oh, who we got next week? Oh, the Ravens. They need to wake up. They need to act like, they got some urgency about them and they're trying to win the championship. Right. There's no way I'm going into the next week and I don't know who I'm playing, especially when they are a team that's threatening to win a championship in themselves, that being the Ravens. Here are the Chargers coming in town. The Chargers, they're still the Chargers. They're still teams that are going to lose close ball games. We saw it last week. I mean, people tried to blame that on Anthony Lynn. That was happening when Gus Johnson was there. That's why they got him out of there. This team has been losing close games for at least 6 years now. So stop blaming the coach. It's just that franchise. You got to want to be about it. 6.5 on the road. We've seen these games come down to the wire, but Phillip Rivers isn't that quarterback this week. Justin Herbert, this is going to be his first time going into Arrowhead with fans. We know that is one of the top 3 loudest places to play in pro football. Here we are. Chiefs on get back, 6.5 at home. Love it. One of my best bets this week is going to be the Chiefs 6.5.
Oh, there it is. Rome 6-0 best bets at RomyRome _ on Twitter. Rome's with the Chiefs minus the 6.5 points. And like I said, he's 6-0 on his best bet so far this year. I don't think I win yet, but yeah, I also lean with the Chiefs. Just a lean though, but because they fucked me this past week. But the 6.5, I think under a touchdown. Yeah, I think under a touchdown when you get with the Chargers, who I talked about this in week 1. They feel like they just don't know how to win. I mean, they did it against. Did it
No
against
leadership.
did it against Washington, and I was all on the Cowboys last week because I said, how better can you be on third fucking down? You can't be any better. So I figured the Cowboys could put up points with them. And I like the Chiefs though here, minus the 6.5. I should say Chiefs 6-4 against the spread after a loss since Mahomes has been the quarterback. 8, 9, and 1 division games though under that span, and then you talked about it, Rome. 1-9 their last 10 regular season games against the spread are the Chiefs. So we're looking to get away from that trend. So I'm gonna back the Chiefs here minus the 6.5. But it's just a lean for me because I have this little sour taste in my mouth. But lean with the Chiefs minus the 6.5. We have a like with Rome. I feel like a couple leans as well. It was a couple likes.
Leans. I lean.
Leans, yeah.
Keith, you
All right.
like it, right?
Yeah, I like the Chiefs. I like whoever's going against the Chargers.
All right, 2 likes, 2 leans. AFC West guy, he's with the like, so that should be noted. And Rome 6-0 on his best bet so far. So, all right, next game: Saints at Patriots. Patriots favored by 3. Total is 41.5. Mike, I'm gonna start with you on this one. What do you feel about this game? Patriots favored by 3 at home.
I lean Patriots, but I think something else that's important and should be noted. I believe this under is the lowest total we have.
It is.
And the Patriots haven't really been putting up points. The Saints put up points week 1, but we don't really expect to see that. We don't expect to see them drop 38. And
they put up points. I'm gonna let you finish, but they put up points, but not too many like yards.
Can we deep dive this one? Can we deep dive this one? Because this is an important game.
Let's deep dive it.
Yeah, I'm down. But yeah, I lean with the Patriots. I also lean with that under too, 41.5. Neither the Patriots haven't really been putting up numbers, and like I said, the Saints, they put up like that. What happened in week 1 is probably not going to happen the rest of the year. So yeah,
what happened in week 1? Remind us. What happened in week 1? Can you just remind us?
They scored 38. The Packers game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you remember? Yeah,
Packers. Yeah. I was just saying, remind not us, but
yeah. They scored 38. Jameis had 5 touchdowns, a bunch of short fields. Aaron Rodgers. Packers quit at halftime, basically for the audience. The Packers quit at half. So yeah.
Rome, how do you feel about this game? Patriots favored by 3.
So this is one of those key numbers. It's 3. Patriots are laying 3 at home. This line says that this line. I don't buy too much into New England Stadium being 3 points on a home field. I'll give it 2 at the best. So let's say the Patriots are a point better than the Saints. Lowest total in pro football this week. I like the Saints team total over. So we talk about the Patriots. Week 1, who do they play? The Dolphins. They're not competent on offense. We're not big believers in Tua. They still lose, but who cares? The Dolphins only scored 16 points. Week 2, they play the Jets. We get it. Zach Wilson, 4 interceptions in the first half. But we know that Bill Belichick against rookie quarterbacks with 2 years or less experience is over 68% against the spread. They cover with no problem. Now you got Jameis Winston coming in town. He's not going to be afraid to sling the ball, and we're catching some type of value here with the total being at 41.5 and the line being 3. So this team total on the Saints is probably going to be around 20.5, maybe 21. And if it is there, I love the total over on the Saints because Sean Payton's going to be able to scheme up, what he wants to do. And I'm not necessarily sold on this Patriots defense yet. They bring back all the names. They bring back Vanoy. Hightower didn't play last year, but he hasn't looked sharp. He looks slow. And on the back end, who's playing DB for them? Who's showing up and actually showing that they want to play? Gilmore doesn't look too good. So
Gilmore hasn't played yet. It's just J.C. Jackson right now.
Right. So these guys don't look sharp right now on defense, and they just haven't played good competition. So give me the Saints team total over on a low total. I think there's value there. My fault. You said Gilman. Gilman's on the IR. My fault. So this is also a big game for the Saints because in some aspect, they've shown themselves to be 2 different types of teams in 2 weeks. So we always say we learn more in week 2 than we do in week 1. But in this instance, we're going to learn more in week 3 about both of these teams than we've learned in the weeks prior. Division game for the Patriots, and then another division game for the Patriots again back-to-back, but it was the Jets. So, Mac Jones has yet to prove that he's been able to put up points. It was really Patriots defense last week. And the Saints, they shit the bed in the first half. They get shut out on the road. So I think that was a letdown spot more than anything rather than what we expect to see from the Saints. I don't think we're going to see a low-scoring Saints team this year or any less of an electric team that we've seen from the Saints in prior years offensively. I think they'll still be able to put up those points. I think this is an overreaction to a Saints team that was able to put up points in week 1 and not put up points in week 2, and then going into New England and the Bill Belichick factor. And that's why I think this total is low. And I also think it's low. I think this total is low because of the Patriots offense. They have proven not to be able to score. The Saints have, at least in 1 week.
Yeah.
So this total isn't low it's not low because of the Saints defense either, because we saw what they did last week. So when you do those 4 components, Saints offense, Saints defense, Patriots offense, Patriots defense, what's the weakest link on this game? It's the Patriots offense.
Yeah.
That's why this total is at 41.5. That's why this total is the lowest total on the board this week. So I'm going to go the other way with the value in the Saints offense that I believe will be able to put up points, especially after scoring no points in the first half. It's going to be really important for them to get on a hot start. Second week on the road out of 3 weeks. So this is not going to be their first rodeo on the road. And if you really want to be real, it'll be their 3rd week on the road because they play in Jacksonville week 1.
Yeah.
So this is a team that's used to traveling. Give me the Saints team total over on a very low total. I don't want any parts of the side. I don't like laying 3 at home. I think that's a flat number. Chargers laid that 3. We were on the Cowboys last week. I don't like laying flat 3s at home. I don't want parts of the Saints either. So give me the Saints total team over, limit my liability. That's my play on this one. And I'm looking to play it right when that line drops on Friday.
All right, that's as clean as it gets from Rome when we talk his handicaps. I know not to go against Rome when he talks like that. Keith, what do you feel about this game? Patriots favored by 3 at home against the Saints.
I tend to agree with Rome. For most of the reason, I got to lean with the Saints here. The only thing that's making me worry is the fact that it's Jameis Winston versus Bill Belichick. That's like the big red flag. Is like, you got who? Like that. That's the biggest thing that's throwing me off. But I like what I'm seeing out of it. I know you said that they've not been able to score points, but I do like what I've seen out of the Saints defense both weeks. They've shown that they have the ability to stop the run. I don't think we've seen enough out of Mac Jones to say that he can go out there and get you a win without having that ability to lean on that run game, and especially not to win by like covering any points or anything. So I got to lean with the Saints here. A low-scoring game. Give me the team to cover the points.
I don't even know why this line is Patriots laying 3. I don't even understand how they're laying at 3. It has to only. I didn't on a neutral.
I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to get a lecture as to why, or the theory. But that's the first thing that jumped out to me. Period. I was like, the line I guess doesn't say that they're better than them when you factor in that they're at home. But I was like. What happened last week changed. The Saints, even coming into the year with Jameis, they were still like projected to be contenders.
Look at on this game was Pick'em. This line opens at 3, so there's a 3-point increase. And what did the Patriots 3 points better beat the Jets?
That's the point that I chime in. I totally agree with you all. I mean, I'm gonna back the Saints here plus the 3 points. When you talk about defense, Keith, I totally agree. They're still top tier in rushing defense, 3rd in the league, only allowing 66 rushing yards on the ground per game. But when we talk about the Saints, I just think that they're pretty. I mean, when we're talking about similarities in teams, these teams are pretty similar. Good at defense, trying to find an identity offensively, wants to run the ball. But the thing with the Patriots is they have a rookie quarterback, and I know Jameis didn't look great last week is because he played a top-tier defense in those Carolina Panthers.
All right, Panthers fan.
But he the thing is, I feel like Sean Payton is good enough to reel his quarterback in and say, hey, this is what we did not want you to do. These is why we took these steps X, Y, and Z to not get you to Q, R, and S. And, this past week you went to QRNS. Let's get it back into XYZ. Sean Payton against the spread as a head coach, 52-34 against the spread after a loss. That's hella good. That's fucking good. And the Patriots is only favored by 3. So you're telling me that these are even teams? I disagree here. I think the Saints are a little better. The Patriots are playing the god-awful Jets last week. I think Jameis shows up and he's able to take advantage of a non-Gilmore-led defense and a high tower that, Rome, I agree, he has been a little slower out there.
This is a WTF game, wrong team favored. This game should still be even. as it opened up as a look ahead, and there's no justifying why the Patriots are laying 3 at home.
Yeah. Mike, did I already go to you in this game?
Yeah. I lean on the under.
Gotcha. All right. So next game we're going to get into, I want to go through this one quickly as well, and I'll start with me. Falcons at Giants. Giants favored by 3. Totals 48.5. I have a like on this game. Possible best bet, Falcons plus the 3 points. I just think the Giants are not good at home. 5-12 against the spread as a home team under Daniel Jones. It's even worse over the last 4 years. The Giants cannot run the ball, Saquon Barkley, and they have a bad offensive line. And then the Falcons are finding themselves offensively with this new coach, Arthur Smith. Yeah. So I like the Falcons. I'm going to back them here on the road plus the 3 points against the Giants team that is favored by 3 points against any team in the NFL. I'm kind of like, what? So I'm going to take the Falcons. I think I have a good offensive scheme here, plus the 3 points. Rome, what do you think?
This is going to be a stay away from me. Just wanted to mention the Falcons are one of those winless teams in week 3, 59% percentage covering. However, I think there's a catch here. This line's only 3. So
yeah. And that's since 2010, right, Mike? I mean, right, Rome? Since 2010. That's since 2010, correct? That's
since 2010. So yeah, winless teams going into week 3 cover 59% of the time. Falcons fall under that here. I just don't want parts of it because they're on the road and the margin of the line it's low. It's 3. So
yeah. All right, Mike, what do you think about this game? Falcons 3-point underdogs at the Giants.
I pretty much everything you said. That 3 seems flat, and I don't like backing the Giants at home. So they're way better on the road. Like I like the Giants last week when they played Washington football team, and they're just better on the road. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. I don't know if it's they're eating, they're traveling. They're so much better on the road than they are at home.
They must just be more super locked in on the road. But
yeah.
This total is randomly high too. I'm just looking at 48.5. That's interesting.
48.5. Yeah. Keith, what do you think about this game? Giants favored by 3 at home against the Falcons.
I mean, it's a real life stay away from me. Like I would never even consider betting on this game. Like both of these teams are terrible. But in terms of like where I'm picking, I just definitely lean, and I'm going with the Falcons on my sheet this week, and I'm not being swayed. I'm going to just go with the better quarterback. Both defense will just give up whatever. Although to be fair to the Falcons, maybe because I was only like looking for them to if they were going to cover or not, and the spread was so high. But when you were taking into account the spread, they played okay last week against the defending champions. They just had some like mistakes that bad teams have. I don't know. It's like this is like you don't recover from that. And I don't know if the Giants are a team that can capitalize on those kinds of mistakes. I think we're going to see multiple mistakes on both sides of the ball from both teams, which is why it's like it's a stay away from me.
Hey, Keith said, I'm taking the Falcons on my sheet and I'm not being swayed. As if we're his bookie or something. Like because it's emotional, bro.
No, I know how Keith gets with these Falcons. So yeah, all right, next game. Well, actually, we got some comments, gentlemen. Someone actually asked Jameis over 25 touchdowns this year. Anybody want to comment on
that? I'm not the prop guy. Where's Drew?
What is
it was Paris. I don't know. I mean, I would take the
I gotta know from Paris.
Gotta know from Paris.
We gotta ask Paris.
A good nah.
It's a no from Paris.
Not us.
It's a no from Paris, so it's a no from me because I don't long-term props.
Because we don't even know if Jameis ends up starting this whole year. If he comes out there with 3 consecutive weeks of bad, we'll see some Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Sean Payton said he was Steve Young. So I would expect to see some Taysom Hill this year.
He did say he was Steve Young. I did want to point out possible Soundman special here on the Falcons. He wanted to point that out, so did want to touch on that before we move on to the next game. Mike, I keep forgetting about. Did we touch on this one with you? Falcons at Giants?
Yeah, I lean Falcons. I had like pretty much the same handicap as you.
All right.
Giants on the road, not at home.
Yes. Next game, Bengals at the Steelers. Steelers favored by 3.5. I wanted the totals 43.5. I wanted to back the Bengals so bad, but looking at their offensive line last week, stay away from me. Rome, how do you feel?
It's going to be a stay away from me, but I just want to mention this line. Look ahead was 6.5. Now it's down to 3.5. Are the Bengals really that good?
More of that Bengals smoke coming in every week.
Goodness gracious. Are the Bengals really that good? Each week they're getting line movement. They even lost this past week and they're getting line movement. But I guess I think what people are doing this week is they're justifying the line movement this week. They're basically, and we talked about this with Paris in the chat. I think Bengals backers, and I think their sharps are saying, well, he threw 3 interceptions in 3 attempts. How often does that happen? So that was fluke. Let's throw it out, and we're going to back him again this week. Yep. Who cares? The line is the line is the line. The Bears covered. He threw 3 interceptions back to back to back on the road. He's on the road this week against the Bengals, who historically own against the Steelers, who historically own the Bengals. I want no parts of this game at all. Nothing.
Mike, talk to me. How do you feel about this game? Steelers favored by 3.5 against the Bengals.
I don't have much. I just wanted to point out the way you say Steelers is funny. I was listening last week in the cover. I was like, the way you say Steelers is hilarious. But I don't have nothing for this game. I don't want to back Big Ben. He has not looked impressive at all.
He looks poor and old.
Yeah, bro he was sailing a couple of throws like out of bounds, and it wasn't like he was escaping the pocket and throwing it away. He was like real live in the pocket, throwing them things out of bounds. I don't want no parts of this game. But I just had to point that out about the Steelers, the way you say it.
Yeah, what I wanted to point out before we get to you, Keith, Steelers, not even against the spread. All they're 44-33 against the spread after a loss under head coach Mike Tomlin. But Steelers this year, offensive passing yards per game, they ranked 29th in the league out of 32.
How good were they after 3 weeks last year?
They were.
Remember they got to the 9-0 start.
Yeah, they were fucking.
People have caught on to that. What they were doing is they were getting the ball out of Big Ben's hands early because he's old. 2.3 seconds was the average last year. They're trying to do the same thing this year, but all the Washington football team gave out that formula how to stop him. Yep. Man up, get sticky, and don't give up underneath routes. That's been the key to stopping them. The Browns blew them out at home last year in the playoffs. I think that's done. They nothing.
Yeah, I think they're done as well. Keys, how do you feel about this game? Steelers favored by 3.5, total 43.5.
I got a slight lean on the Steelers here. I just think that D-line is going to be able to get to Joe Burrow. We talk about a very bad Bengals offensive line that has been allowing Joe Burrow to get touched. I feel like last year was his worst game as a quarterback. He had his lowest completion percentage against these Steelers, something around 50%. We've seen that the formula to beat the Steelers is, like I said, take the top off them. You got to get those big passes. I don't know if that. I was riding hard with the Bengals last week, and I was really watching that game, and I was just like, oh, okay. I see what's going on here. And they're still trash. That's what's going on here. I saw more of the same in terms of the running game with Mixon. They have a pretty new weapon on the outside, but so far only 11 targets this year for Jamar Chase. It's just looking like the same old with the Bengals offense. They just have their quarterback still unable to protect him though, and this is the worst matchup for that.
Yeah, I feel the same way you do, Keith. Just hard to back a team that can't protect their quarterback. Good defensive line. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away here. All right, so let's get through this next game quickly, specifically, so we can get to this Jets Broncos. I know, Roman, you want to deep dive into that. Cardinals favored about 7.5 at the Jaguars, total of 52. For me, I'm gonna start with me. I'm gonna back the Cardinals here, but I'm gonna lean towards the under. 7.5 does not scare me, Ron. We've talked about this specifically on the road. It tries to scare people away, the 7.5. But the Jaguars are a bad team. Last week, they couldn't even throw the ball, which we thought they would be able to do. So they can't run or throw the ball. Head coach, I'm not sure if he's all the way there. Probably thinking USC at this point. So I'm going to back the Cardinals minus the 7.5. When we talk about the Cardinals, 10-5-2 against the spread as a road team under a head coach, Kingsbury rather, and Kyler Murray, 7-6-1 against the spread after a win. So I'm gonna back these guys. And they're also 13-9 against the spread in non-division games under those two. So I'm gonna back the Cardinals minus 7.5. Keith, what do you think about this game?
I gotta lean on the Cardinals here. The funny half a point is blowing me on the road. Honestly, that's like the only thing that's making it not a like for me. It's just the numbers too ugly. But this Jaguars team is complete boo-boo. They're one of my teams I'm circling every week in terms of getting through the survivor pool. And I'm definitely eyeing this game. I think that the Cardinals have too much explosiveness on offense for the Jaguars to even compete, honestly. I would love to hear if anybody has any in-depth analysis of this other than that.
Mike, what do you got? What do you think about this game? 7.5 Cardinals.
I don't really like laying points with the Cardinals, but I kind of have to if I'm gonna play any side on this game. The Jaguars are like horrible, and Urban Meyer's gonna be out of there.
They're like horrible, or are they horrible?
They're horrible. They're bad, bro. They're bad. Urban Meyer's gonna be out of there. I don't think he's clicking with the locker room. Cardinals is looking explosive, like he said, bro. Like Rondale Moore made a couple plays last week. Kyler's looking great. They're just they're gonna be too explosive for this Jacksonville team. So I lean with the Cardinals.
All right, Rome, keep it short and sweet for me. Cardinals favored by 7.5 at the Jaguars, total 52.
I want absolutely nothing to do with this game, but if you want an angle on anything, which is the best value in pro football right now, I think it's Kyler Murray to win Pro Football MVP of this year. That's it. He opened at plus 1,000. He's down to he opened at plus 900. He's down to plus 600. Get in while it's good because it's only going to get worse.
You know what? Chicken sandwich bet, Rome. First of the year, I'm going with Tom fucking Brady to be the MVP. Thought about putting it down today. If neither of our guys win,
I got one for y'all too.
All right, go ahead. Stafford, you're going with Stafford.
Okay, I'll stick with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and I'll stick with Tom Brady. Whoever wins,
I got one for y'all.
There we go.
Oh shit!
There we go.
Derek fucking Carr, baby. Let's go.
Right, there it is. A lot of
chicken sandwich bet all around.
Yep, MVP chicken sandwich bet. I have Brady. Rome has Kyler. Keith has Derek Carr. Mike has Mike. Who do you have?
Stafford.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
I got Stafford.
He has Matt Stafford with the Rams.
Man, like two.
So yeah, that's gonna be a good one. We'll keep that.
We can play some lunch money, but I'm telling you right now, viewers, listeners, if you want some value, he is at plus 600. Put down your $50 and get your $300 on Kyler Murray winning the Pro Football MVP this year because he throwing fadeaway touchdowns, bro. It's just it's going down like that. That's just what's happening right now.
All right, there's our chicken sandwich bet MVP. We got one. Soundman is missing out this week. All right, Rome, I'm right back at you. Jets at Broncos. Broncos favor about 10.5, total 41. I know you like this game. Talk to me.
This is one of my favorite games of the week, and this is where your average recreational bettor overreacts and sees Jets on the line and they say Broncos easy. And this is also where I know a lot of people like to play money lines because they're not too comfortable on teams 10.5. This line's at 10.5. Well, actually, it's at 10.5 on our sheet, but this line right now currently is at 9.5 Broncos, which means that's lots of Jets money pouring in. So look ahead on this with 7.5. It opens at 10.5, which means the money came in on the Broncos, right? And then right when that line got posted at 10.5, it got pounded down to 9.5. I love the Jets this week for a couple of reasons. The Jets, they're one of those winless teams. Winless teams in week 3 against the spread are 59% going back to 10 years ago. Another thing, this is a real line to catch points on. It's 10.5. It's not the Falcons-Giants 3 where the margin is just like, field goal, push. It's 10 points. You can catch 10 points with the Jets. I get it. No one's big on the Jets. They suck. We got it. Give me the Jets. 10.5 is one of those key numbers. I always talk about these football numbers. 3, 4, 7, and the next one's 10. And so here we are at 10.5. Actually, right now as we record it, it's down to 9.5. Which means that's money coming in on the Jets. I'm with the Sharps here. I love the Jets. This total is actually the lowest total in pro football this week. I know we mentioned the Patriots one. This one's at 41. The Patriots one was at 41.5. So you telling me the Broncos are going to get 10 points of margin? They basically got to blow them out like 36-3 or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So I love the Jets this week. And if you want to talk about, I know a lot of our viewers and listeners do teasers. This is the sexiest teaser play on the board. Tease the Jets up to 16 points and just go wing it. I love it. We know the Jets suck. This isn't about the Jets. And this is where sports handicappers and guys who do this professionally make their money on games like this, where everyone's like, the Jets suck. Yes, we know they suck. They're catching 10 points. We're not asking them to win. So love the Jets this week. Probably won't be a best bet, but we'll play the Jets this week for sure. I'm not gonna lie, I got in at 10, didn't get that hook. down to 9.5 now. If it flirts back up to 10, I will buy that hook. So I like Jets catching that 10 on the road in elevation this week in Denver.
Yep. A couple comments. Great stuff, Ron. People love that handicap. I totally agree with you, though. I'm going to take the Jets here. Meticulous Mark P. I got to go with the Jets plus the 9.5 to 10 points. Key number there. The Jets, when you talk about the 0-2 teams, 59% against the spread since 2010. So I'm going to back that. And then the Broncos, I love Vic Fangio, but 5-7 against the spread after a win. And these are spots that, at home, he's actually better on the road than he is at home. So I'm going to back the Jets here.
This is a super flat spot, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they get the
super flat. 2-0. You're flying high. Everything
flying high. But who have you played? Who have you played? The Jags? The Giants? And your first home game now. Your first home game. So now you kind of relax. You sleep in your own bed. We got the Jets coming in town. No worries. Jets cover.
Yeah. All right, Mike, what do you think about this game? Broncos favored by 9.5, 10.
I'm not messing with the Jets, bro. I lean Broncos. That's it, bro. I lean Broncos at home. That's it, bro.
All right, Keith, what do you got for us here? Broncos favored by 10.5, total 41.
Come on, AFC West. Talk to me.
Easy fade. Give me the Jets.
Easy fade. There it is.
J-E-T-S.
Yeah. So
hey, hold up. This one we got to drop that the Jets haven't been good since 1966.
Yeah. Larry David drop right here.
Because they haven't.
All right. Next game, Dolphins at the Raiders. Raiders favored by 4, total 45.5. I'm gonna let Keith breathe on this one. We're gonna start with you, Rom. How do you feel about this game? Raiders favored by 4 at home against the Dolphins.
I'm laying the 4. 4 is one of those numbers that I am comfortable and I actually like laying. There's a couple numbers I don't like laying. 10.5, 7 on the road. I don't like laying those numbers. 3.5 on the road. I don't like laying those numbers. One of the numbers that I do like laying is 4 at home. And it basically says we're a touchdown better than you. At 4 points, you got to score a touchdown to cover, right? So the Dolphins, we know Tua with the rib injury. He's questionable. Line opened up at look ahead on this line was 1 up to 4 now. Raiders obviously get that upset win on the road last week in Pittsburgh. They come back home now, Allegiant Stadium. Just a side note on this. The Raiders have the 4th highest ticket prices in pro football this year. And you're like, why does that matter to a sports handicapper? Every single angle matters to a sports handicapper. That means all the big market cities that go and play the Raiders will have fans in the stands. If the Raiders were the Chargers, as we just saw last weekend, the Cowboys had more fans in the stands than the Chargers did and a home game. That's deflating. The Raiders don't have that issue. And specifically with big market teams, we expect those fans to show up. Miami, Chicago, Washington football team, amongst some of the names that have to go to Vegas this year and play. I'm not worried about a Dolphins fan base out, impacting Derek Carr and those guys at home. I love laying 4 at home. Like I said, the Dolphins haven't proven to be competent on offense in the past 2 weeks. I don't think that's going to change this week. Jacoby Brissett, I will say, though, is better than Tua. So
hot take.
On a day-to-day, week-to-week thing. I'm not saying long haul. Who knows long haul? But I do. Jacoby Brissett is found a job in the Professional Football League for a reason. It's because he's competent. He's been able to win. He's looked good in Indianapolis. So, and in spurts, right? And that's obviously why he's not a starting quarterback. Right. But
the way I look at Joey Brissett is to keep getting them checks, my black brother. Like, by all means, keep getting them checks.
Give me the Raiders laying at 4. I just really like it. I really like the Raiders here. I know the Dolphins are 9-4 on the road as a road dog. I know they're 11-5 after a loss. I got it. Gruden team, hot start. Give it to me.
Yeah. For me, before we get to you, Mike, we'll finish off with Keith. I'm going to lean with the Dolphins here. Just a slight lean. I don't want to touch either team. Very close to a stay away. But, the Raiders, we talked about it last week. It's been a long time since we've seen them win 2, tough games in a row. Now we're getting
a tough game.
What did they play last week?
They played the Steelers on the road after beating the Ravens at home.
Yeah, it was a tough game coming across country. Yes. So 2 games, and now they're possibly going to win 3 going back to West Coast. So I'm gonna lean with the Dolphins. Like I said, it was close to a stay away, but Rome mentioned it. 9-4 against the spread as a road dog under Flores. 11-5 against the spread after a loss. But I don't know. I mean, really, what I think the real thing is the Raiders really haven't shown the ability to run the ball yet. Because Josh
Incognito comes back this week. That's been a big factor. He's the right guard, and he hasn't been playing yet.
Yeah, but I think it's more so about the running backs with Josh.
Come on, Keith.
Josh Jacobs specifically, like I think he's a pretty good running back, but he hasn't shown the ability to like break out for like these 125 plus games, touchdowns. So I don't know if he plays. Kendrick Drake will have to be the running back.
Kenyon, roll tide.
Yeah. The Dolphins give up a lot of yards on the run, but not so much in the pass. I think this Raiders team is going to have to pass. And when you talk about the Xavier Howards of the world, I'm just going to lean with the Dolphins plus the points here.
If the Raiders have to pass, that's probably the best thing that's happened. Darren Waller, 19 targets, and he goes crazy on Monday Night Football, and then the Steelers try.
Yeah, correct. But when you got a defensive guru, Rome, I don't know if that's going to work. To go to Waller 20 times, you know what I mean? Like, so, but it's just a lean for me. I don't really care about that. I'm not touching this game. Mike, how do you feel about this game? Raiders favored by 4 against the Dolphins.
Lean Raiders. I love the last two things Rome said. Gruden, hot start. John Gruden's teams are not good late, but they're pretty damn good early. I'm gonna lean with the Raiders here. Just a slight lean. I don't really know what's up with the Dolphins this year, but the Raiders, they put up points, so I like the Raiders. I'm gonna lean with the Raiders.
All right, Keith, how you feel about this one? Raiders fan, talk to us.
Yeah, I gotta lean with the Raiders here. Almost alike. I gotta say, I honestly haven't looked into how serious Tua's injury is at all. If he's gonna play this week. But my lean / like is definitely considering that he probably will not play. I'm thinking that he won't. I just don't see how. Not that our defense is like barn busted by any stretch, but
Raiders can't tackle.
We're okay, but we're speedy, and we might get 3 guys there to get you down.
And can rush the passer for sure.
I'm just thinking about in comparison to previous years. Like I feel like we're okay this year, and I think that's all you need to slow down this Dolphins offense, even with Tua. So when you get a downgraded quarterback there, Brissett looked absolutely terrible out there. He was throwing.
I don't think he knew he was going to play. I think he'll play better this week.
Hey, I hope. I mean, I hope so. But
knock on wood if you're with me, man. Type shit.
For his sake, I hope so, because it was like some real wild passes being thrown. So I can't mess with the Dolphins at all. Give me the Raiders at home. They're saying we're only 1 point better than them.
On the look ahead, it was one which said the Dolphins were better than y'all.
Exactly.
And,
Y'all, it's crazy how it goes from y'all to us. Convenient.
Us. and now we are we look like we're 1 point better than the Dolphins. So who knows?
Yeah, the Rome is hilarious. All right,
next Vegas this week for this game, so we'll see.
Oh, speaking of that, there's the drop. So let's find out where's Rome this week. If you don't know, where's Rome? It's a contest. Tell us where Rome is this week. Email us at antiupconsulting@gmail.com. Tell us where he is this week for a cash prize. We gave out a cash prize in week 1. This is week 3, so let's find out where Rome is. All right, Bucks at the Rams. Bucks favored by 1 at this point, total of 55. Mike, I'm going to start with you. How do you feel about this game?
Lean Rams. This team is the team that I think that has a chance to possibly dethrone the Bucks in the NFC this year. I like what I've seen from Matthew Stafford in these couple of games. Sean McVay, I'm a big fan of him. I know Rome is as well. I like the defense. I love Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. That's like 2 top 5 defensive players in the league. I'm really high on the Rams, honestly, and I think the line move. I think they're catching a 1.5. But yeah, I lean with the Rams. I lean with the Rams at the crib.
Yeah, this line's been moving crazy since I started this pod sheet. But Keith, how do you feel about this game? Bucks at the Rams, Bucks favored by 1.5.
It's a stay away from me. I'm just gonna get to my popcorn, enjoy the game.
All right, Rome, what you think about this game?
Just to bring out a point, all the primetime games this year thus far have been electric. I don't expect anything less in this one. This is a
425er.
No, this is 8 p.m. This is Sunday Night Football.
Is it? Okay.
No, it's not. That's the Packers game.
That's Packers 49 on Sunday Night Football.
Okay. 425. Okay. Well, that would actually change my handicap. And it was a wait and see type thing. I want to wait and see what that line does, because what I've noticed this year on these primetime games is the sharps don't pour money in until after those 4 p.m. games. So a lot of people think that that's like public money, people trying to get back, people trying to chase. So a lot of sharps, they don't like getting down until after those 4 p.m. games. That's what I've noticed this year. And now that it's a 4 p.m. game, that means the sharps in Vegas. We talk about Vegas. Vegas is where sports handicapping is at its height, where it's prominent at most. So it's a 4 p.m. game, but in Vegas, it's a 1 p.m. game. So it's there, right? It's going to be one of those games that those guys are betting on early in the week, as opposed to waking up Sunday morning early in Vegas and dropping $10,000 on whoever they want to play. So with that said, I just kind of want to step back and just kind of leave this to y'all on this one, because the time slot was what impacted my handicap a lot on this one. Lines at pick 'em now. I don't really have anything for this right now.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, if it was a primetime game, I definitely would have felt different about the Bucks. But I mean, I'm a back of Rams, but on this one, I'm gonna lean with the Rams plus the points. Home dog, and I got a really explosive offense, a great defense. And when we talk about the Bucks, I know they won a Super Bowl last year. I just feel like that was Brady's Super Bowl. Like Bruce Arians, the foundation. I've given you guys endless Bruce Arians stats over the last however many regular season, games, whatever. I don't think it's all him. I know he likes to air out the ball, but I think that this Rams team has been exposed on the ground, and I don't know if the Bucs are going to run the ball. I mean, they ranked 30th. Well, they ranked 30th in the league in rushing yards per game right now, 67 the Bucs do. So I think they're going to kind of just want to throw the ball. Jalen Ramsey's of the world, can make an impact. Aaron Donald's going to, so I don't know. I mean, it was close to a stay away, but I'm going to lean with the Rams, home dog, explosive offense. So I'll take that. And the fact that they're 24, 22-1 against the spread in all division games of the Rams under McVay. So I'll take that.
One last comment on this game. This total right now is at 55. We said this line has been moving a lot today. If this line ends on an even number, that being even number, a flat number, that being 55, 54, anything without a hook, I would look to play the under.
All right, let's get into the last 2 games quickly, gentlemen. Seahawks at Vikings. Seahawks favored by 1.5. Total is 55. I will start with me. It's a stay away. Rome, how do you feel?
There's only one angle I would consider on this game. That's the over. Line is 1.5. We see the Seahawks. We know the Seahawks. They're going to score, and the teams that they play against, they're going to score. So, Vikings, they were able to score 31 on the road in Arizona. Vikings are one of those winless teams. But this line is 1.5. Be very careful trying to chase that trend on a line that's not really a line. It's 1.5. So, only angle I have on this is the over, and that's all I have for this one.
All right. Keith, how do you feel about this one? Seahawks at the Vikings. Seahawks favored by 1.5.
I know what I wrote, but I think I'm going to lean with the Seahawks here. I'm just thinking about it, and I'm just like, I'm believing in the squad. It's no real hardcore numbers. It's just like I've been burned by it's emotional. I've been burned by the Vikings. It's definitely just a lean though. I probably won't spend too much time like thinking about the play. But yeah, I gotta lean with the Seahawks here.
Yeah, it's a stay away from me, Keith, but I think you're on the right side. I know the Vikings have been kind of like a little contrast there. I think you're on the right side this week with the Seahawks. Mike, what do you think about this game? Seahawks favored by 1.5 at the Vikings.
Yeah,
my bestie, Mike Zimmer, they're going against my guy.
I thought you was really going to say that you was going with the Vikings.
I was waiting on it.
I was waiting on it too. But
not this week.
Like Rome, I lean with the over. Vikings defense hasn't looked good. Seahawks defense hasn't looked that good as well. Both teams have weapons on the perimeter. Tyler Lockett's been really good this year so far. Obviously, Seahawks got DK, and then on the flip side, Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. I think this matchup is just a recipe set up for a lot of points. I could see like a 35-31 type of game. So I lean with the over.
All right. Last game on the board for us, gentlemen. No Monday night. We don't do that here, but shout out to Mike and Jordan. We went 3-0 in the Monday morning podcast. What's the line?
That was a good pod. Pod.
Yeah, I love that. But last game on the board, Packers at the 49ers. 49ers favored by 3.5. Total 49.5. I'll start with me, gentlemen, so we can get through this quickly. I lean with the Packers plus the points just because 49ers have a lot of injury. They're 13-18-1 against the spread. as a home fave or as a home team under Kyle Shanahan. And then when we talk about the Packers, I just think they're going to be able to step up here. They know what they did 2 years ago, now being able to win in California. And once these injuries continue to kick in, so I'm gonna lean with the Packers minus the point. 79, 65, and 5 against the spread non-division games. Under
how far that go back?
That's quarterback Aaron Rodgers, 08. So 79, 65, and 5 against the spread non-division game. Ron, what do you think about this game? 49ers feel about 3.5. The hook is there against the Packers.
One of those numbers again. I like laying 3.5 at home. However, I don't think this line lands on 3.5. It will be the primetime game, as you guys just brought it to my attention. So it'll be lots of money pouring in late after those 4 p.m. games. Until then, I have nothing for this game. This is Tuesday as we're recording. Just look out for a play if I do have a play on this game. But as of now, I have nothing for this.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens. And listen, everybody's listening and watching right now live or listening to the pod Thursday. Sometimes, we record these on Tuesday. Like, things change. I remember last season, I really loved the Cowboys on a Sunday, but did not like them on a Tuesday. So that's how things go. Lines change, number change, market changes. So, Mike, how do you feel about this game? 49ers figure about 3.5.
Definitely felt what Rome said. For me, right now at least, I lean with the 49ers. I know the Packers got some revenge on them last year, but there was no Garoppolo, no Kittle, no Deebo Samuel, no Ayuk.
I know you ain't just saying no Garoppolo is the first thing you said.
But, I'm just saying, that's their starting quarterback. He was the QB when they smacked them around 2 years ago twice. So
that's fair.
Packers,
good point.
Yeah, Packers struggle with athletic defenses. The 49ers is one of those defenses. The Lions were up at halftime last night. So you telling me Kyle Shanahan can't scheme things up and have the 49ers offense humming the same exact way? I lean with the 49ers here. Like I said, Packers struggle with athletic defenses, physical defenses, and the only thing that concerns me is that back end. I know they had some injuries. I know Josh Norman is now starting, but yeah, for right now, I lean with the 49ers though.
Packers have also been susceptible to the tight end this year. Saints, who's their tight end? And he went off. Okay.
Yeah, Jawan Johnson, right?
Right. And then
Hawkinson.
And then I got Hawkinson, who we think is a top 5 pro football tight end. He goes off last night and he gets his player prop and he covers that very easily with 6 catches in the third, fourth quarter.
Shout out, Mike.
Late third, early fourth. So yeah, I agree with Mike full-heartedly. And like I said, I just need to see this line fluctuate a little bit more. But it's definitely a lean on the 49ers.
Keith, how do you feel about this one? 49ers favor about 3.5 against the Packers.
Legit had a lean on the Packers, and you guys might have talked me out of it. Because I was up in the air with this game when I was looking at it. I might have to check my emotions at the door with this one. I'm super anti-Jimmy. I just couldn't fathom myself betting on Jimmy G. I don't respect that 49ers defense as they were in the past, and I just was expecting the Packers to come in, give me the points. The on the road is here nor there to me, honestly. When it comes to Aaron Rodgers, I feel like he'd be able to manage that. But like I said, you guys might have talked me into 49ers. It's still really early for this game.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I think this may be a game where the Packers miss David Bakhtiari. And also, like I was talking about last year, 49ers didn't have Nick Bosa as well.
Hell of a handicap, yeah, for sure. And then we always talk about Aaron Rodgers going home. It's always the great narrative. Aaron Rodgers going home to Northern California, grew up as a San Francisco. He can't beat him. He hasn't proven to be able to beat him. And here they are again.
I played this game out in my head. It's funny. I thought this was the Trey Lance game. Like, we're gonna have to see Trey Lance. They don't have a running back.
I mean, we could see Trey Lance.
The Packers defense, while they haven't been looking good, it's more so just because you can run on them. I know the 49ers are going to try, and it doesn't matter who they have back there. But at this point, it's just like, bro, you literally have no running backs.
They have a running back. They had their running back after week 1. Whoever no-name guy was, he was top 5 in leading rusher. So we'll see.
I mean, to speak on that, though, speak on this game before we leave, I like the under 49.5. I think the 49ers, even though they can't, quote-unquote, run the ball because they got nobody there, they use Deebo Samuel in a short passing game. Brandon Ayuk, you might start seeing now in a short passing game to implement that kind of run scheme. So, I mean, I've seen that in the past with them. And then when we talk about the Packers, 2 rookies on the offensive line. Barry Ogty is out. I think the 49ers can be able to get to them. So I like the under the 49.5.
How about a correlation parlay as we leave out 49ers money line under?
Yeah. I'm not mad at that. But we're not leaving just yet, Rome. We're not leaving just yet. Tease me pick. Come on, baby. We was undefeated last week. So I'll start with me. All right. I'm going to take it. I'm going to keep it simple and sweet. I'm going to take the Panthers minus what is it? 1.5. Take a minus 1.5.
What are we doing? 6-point teasers, 7 point.
6-point teasers. Always.
All right.
6-point
teasers means 2 legs minus 120.
Minus 110, bro. I told you I can get the minus 110. Yeah,
all right, you got a good book. You got a good book.
You know I do. I'm always looking, baby. All right, so I'm gonna take the Panthers minus the 1.5, and I will take the Packers. So I don't want the Packers. No. I'll take the Rams plus the 7.5 now, right? I said 1.5. I'll take the Rams plus the 7.5 and the Panthers minus 1.5. My tease me picks. Keys, what do you got?
I'm gonna tease the Cardinals down to minus 1.5. I was really wanting the 7-point teaser there, but yeah. The Cardinals, I'll tease them down to minus 1.5, and then I'll also tease the Ravens down to -2. Two teams that I would expect to honestly cover the normal spread. So tease them down to close to money line. I'll take that.
All right. Mike, what do you got for me? Tease me picks, 2 teams.
Y'all taking all my teasers.
No, you can listen. I don't mind. Listen,
Whatever.
Let me get I want to tease the Falcons up to 9.
Okay.
And Cardinals was my other one. So two bird teams. Yeah, let me
all right. I'm gonna take the Cardinals down. Rome, what do you got for me? You hit the teaser last week, baby.
This is easy for me. Teasing Chiefs down the money line. Basically
right.
pick them. And then I'm teasing Saints up to -3 up to 9 on the road. And then how about this? Bonus teaser. Jets up to 60.5. Let's go, Jets.
Oh, I need 2 teams, Rome. I need 2 teams.
I want 3 because I like the Jets that much. I think they'll cover the regular line. I think they'll cover the teaser. And I got a teaser.
You love the other team at
plus
9?
150.
You love the other team at 9, not 10.
9, yes, 9. I like a 3-leg teaser at plus 150 this week.
All right, I'm just saying your teaser numbers have,
they suck. I get it, but I like this one. I really do. I mean, there's nothing about this that I don't like. We all like the Chiefs. I like them to win, and I like the Saints offense. I like them to be able to cover a low total, and then going back to the Jets. I like the Jets straight up just on the line. So,
all right. We just want you to win, bro. We just want you to win. You best bets. You're great. One of your teasers. All right, Keith, you have some ending thoughts?
No, I was just gonna say he specifically called out 2 spots to tease this week, so I was expecting those to be his 2 teasers. He did say one, the Jets, but I think the other one, I just remember there were 2 terrible teams. That's why I was like, I hate teasing terrible teams because blown out and no.
All right, Bengals catching 17.5 against the Steelers last year went out right.
That's
we can tease terrible teams, baby. I'm teasing up. I'm not teasing down.
All right, that's week 3 episode. See you all next week. Next Tuesday for the streamers, next Thursday for the listeners. Appreciate you all. What's the Line podcast, and we'll be back. All right, y'all. Good shit. That was a great episode.
That was good.
Yeah, facts.
That was the best one yet, for real.
Damn, let me tell Sound Man, you about to be hurt.
All right.
That was sharp. That was sharp.
Yeah, that was definitely sharp.
If that Raiders line gets up to 4.5, I want no parts. That's one of those numbers I don't like, Land.
All right, Keys, I could probably, if you in the crib tomorrow, I could pull up on you. You a medium, right? I got these hoodies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'll pull up on you tomorrow, and then Mike, it's looking slow today. Thursday, let's link up. Just give me a time.
I'm off Thursday. You could definitely we could link so I can get that hoodie.
Actually, yeah, I gotta be in Landover like 3:30 on Thursday for a doctor's appointment, so I could link with you right after.
All right.
Or before.
What's up with Vegas week 5?
I don't know.
I already looked at the tickets for y'all. Y'all tickets is $100.
That's the family B-Day week.
Ah, shit.
Baby and
mama, right? Yeah.
Damn.